Madam Comptroller, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Chairman, Councilmember Canali. Here. Carlisle. Covet. Here. Easter Thomas. Present. Ford. Johnson.
Present.
Logan.
Present.
Morgan. Robinson.
Present.
Smiley.
I'm here.
Warren. Chairman Jones. Chairman Jones, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Welcome to the September 1st meeting, special called meeting of the Memphis City Council. Comment cards are available for members of the public wishing to be heard for a specific item. Our Sergeant at Arms has agendas available up front. Please be mindful that all cards must be completed in their entirety, including the item number you wish to speak on. Cards that do not include an item number or are left blank will be held until the end of the meeting for general comments. All those wishing to speak on an item must turn in their comment cards to the Sergeant at Arms before the item is called. As chair, I will only recognize citizens that properly registered to speak by submitting a completed comment card to the Sergeant at Arms. Councilwoman Johnson.
Move to ratify all steps for calling this special call meeting to order.
Okay, has been moved and seconded that we ratify this meeting. We can do this by voice vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that item passes. Thank you. I will now read the names of the certified candidates for the District 4 position. Candidates, as I read your name, please come down to the front and have a seat in the first row. First candidate is Latanya Blankenship. Second candidate is Lucille Catron. Third candidate is Terry Dockery. Fourth candidate is Barry Ford. Next, we'll have Ronnie Johnson, followed by Mark Jones, followed by Janice Swearengin Washington. Now, I will read the process the council will undergo to select a candidate as outlined in the council rules of procedure. All candidates will be given an opportunity to speak and may be questioned by the council. Please keep your remarks to under 5 minutes. All candidates will be voted on at the same time by a roll call vote with each council member indicating the name of their choice to fill the vacant seat. Voting will begin with the councilperson whose name appears first on the voting board. With each successive round of voting, the person who voted first in the previous round will vote last. For each round of voting, Madam Comptroller will tabulate the votes and inform the chair of the vote count for each candidate. The procedures in the initial round of voting will be repeated as many times as necessary until a candidate receives a majority vote. Beginning at the second round of voting, a candidate receiving less than 2 votes will be dropped from the list of nominees. After 3 rounds of voting, the chair may accept a motion to consider the top 2 vote getters. The chair has the discretion to establish time limits for voting when an impasse seems likely and to table voting to the next meeting as to not disrupt or delay any normal council business. Colleagues, I'd like to first give candidates the opportunity to give their remarks, then hear from those who submitted public comment cards, and conclude with allowing the council an opportunity to ask questions of the candidates. Councilwoman Johnson.
Thank you, Chair. Thanks for being recognized. I would like to move that we change it from a 5 minutes presentation from each candidate to a 2 minutes presentation. And if we need additional time, let that be included in the total 5 minutes.
I will second that motion.
Without objection.
Okay. Well, the motion isn't necessary. Is that the will of the body?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I understand what Chairman is saying is 2 minutes.
Speak.
I'm sorry, Chair. 2 minutes, I understand, to give a presentation is enough. And then if a council member wants to recognize somebody, that can allow them or afford them more time. But I think it'll help move at least their initial remarks along. Okay. I think was her point, and I would agree with that.
Well, let's do it like this. We'll let them know that we have, because colleagues, here we are, some of these people we don't know, never heard before. And we're being asking to vote. 5 minutes is, 5 minutes is still a short period of time, but to have 2 minutes and we base our vote on that, that's why, there's nothing said in our rules to do so. I just came up with 5 minutes, but I just feel that 2 minutes, can we compromise on 4 then? Any objection to 4?
Objection. Let the people talk.
3 minutes, 3 minutes, okay. 3 minutes.
Object. Let them talk.
Okay. I will now ask the candidates to, yes, 3 minutes, yes. I will now ask the candidates to give their remarks. When I call your name, please come up to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and then you may begin. Madam Comptroller, will you please place 3 minutes on the clock for each candidate, please? First, we'll have Ms. LaTanya Blankenship.
Good morning. My name is LaTonia Blankenship. Address 2399 Zanone, Memphis, Tennessee, 38114.
Okay.
I am a proud alumnus of Merrill's High School, Tennessee State University, Victory College, and Strayer University. I have a master's in business administration with a concentration on marketing, and my bachelor's, which is in interdisciplinary studies, which I'm using now for the Memphis Shelby County School system. I am a family engagement specialist. However, I have served as a classroom teacher as well as a behavior specialist. I am very active in my community of Orange Mound. I'm a part of the Alumni Association, Merrill's Alumni Association. Also, I am a part of the Orange Mound Development Corporation, the Orange Mound Task Force, as well as the new organization called Orange Mound Collaborative Group, whereas all of the groups in Orange Mound are under one umbrella, and they operate separately, but then we come together and do different things like this, in October, we have a theme called October in Orange Mound, where each weekend we have something different for the community to get involved in. Matter of fact, we were just awarded, the Orange Mound Collaborative Group was just awarded $2,500 from the Neighborhood Association. And so what we plan on doing on October the 29th is having a national night out, which the Chief CJ has made that the National Night Out Day. From there, we will be giving out our citizens doorbell ringers, motion lights. We also got deer cameras that will be placed around the community to see about dumping and different things like that. As well as that, we do an Orange Mound feeding. We also do a community service project called Purses with a Purpose. And what we do is put different hygiene products, and we give it to some of our residents that are displaced. Also with that, we do backpack, I've been a part of the backpack giveaway, as well as turkey giveaways. And I have served as a chairperson for the Juneteenth, for Orange Mound for the last 2 years for Juneteenth.
Okay. Is that the conclusion of your comments?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Blankenship. Next, we'll hear from Mrs. Lucille Catron.
Good morning, Council.
Good morning.
I'm Lucille Catron, 979 Grand Street, 38114. I want to thank you, Chairman Octavius Jones, Vice Chair J.B. Smiley, and my council for giving me this great opportunity to speak before you regarding this special election. I attended Jones College, which was a 2.5-year college, but I was a double major in business administration, fashion merchandising. I was the president of Phi Beta Lambda, which was the Future Business Leaders of America. At age 18, I worked for Internal Revenue Service and investigative unit, and I worked for Federal Express. By the age of 23, I had saved $25,000 to open my first business. That, my counsel, took determination, dedication, and yes, many sacrifices. I stand before my council today to proudly say I have been a business owner now for over 40 years. My businesses included clothing stores, hair salons, furniture stores in Oxford, Mississippi, and the Daisy on Bill. My love and passion for my Orange Mountain community inspired me to not only open a store in the heart of Orange Mountain, but I purchased that store and it's paid for in full. I am the president, CFO of Beale Street Development Corporation, the developers of historical Beale Street. My list of accomplishments, organizational affiliations, community advocacy, community service is long. But to just name a few, I am a member of the Orange Mountain Task Force. I was a former chairman of the Shelby County Democratic Party Ward and Precinct. I am the president and founder of the annual MLK Day on historical Beale Street in Handys Park. I am the recipient of State Representative Barbara Cooper prestigious Harriet Tubman Award. And most recently, I took on the task in these very council chambers, spent my own money, stood before the Planning and Development Board to fight against others coming into our community, setting up unsightly, unwanted businesses. I won. Orange Mountain won. My long journey in becoming a successful business owner, being president, CEO of a corporation, my love for the citizens of Memphis and District 4, my willingness and courage to stand and be a voice, a champion for the people, my expertise in complex budgets, contract negotiations.
Ms. Catroy, your time has expired.
Oh, well, you know I always go past that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Ms. Terry Dockery.
Good morning, council. Good morning, clergy, candidates, and constituents. All right. My name is Terry Dockery. I am a native resident of District 4. My and my family's roots run through the Whitehaven community, South Memphis, primarily the Alcee Ball, Bunker Hill, and Orange Mound communities. I presently reside in the Cherokee Heights community. For most of my life, I've lived, served, and worked throughout the District 4. In all aspects, my career, I've worked serving families. As a public servant, I worked the needs, of bereaved families, the people of the YMCA of Memphis, as well as teaching and coaching students in the Memphis City, Shelby County, and charter school system. By virtue of my strong relationships within the District 4, I am confident that I am not only ready, willing, and able, and capable of being resourceful in order to serve the constituents in our district. Some of the works that have been done is District Youth Director for the Y Achievers with YMCA of Memphis, Whitehaven and Mason, YMCA, City Beautiful, City of Memphis, Mason, YMCA 2005, under the leadership of Councilwoman Janet Hooks. Harrison's Memorial Chapel, Orange Mound Funeral Home, the Liaison, LeBonner Children's Hospital, the Donor Wall for Orange Mound Funeral Home, Hanley Middle School, the Community Liaisons, Cherokee Neighborhood Association Secretary, 2000 until current, the PTA President for Cherokee Elementary, the PTA and Athletic Vice President for Sherwood Middle, the PTA and Athletic National Honor Society for Melrose High School, and the White Station High School Athletic Parental Association. University of Memphis's Community Outreach Program current, bridging the gaps in the NFL players for students with ADD, ADHD, and players. Alongside sitting with Ms. LaTanya Blankenship as the bylaws current Orange Mound Collaborative Group. I also have a program now with Orange Mound Senior Centers, senior swimmers and aerobics currently, and her prom closet here in the city that touches all youth and all young ladies for the leadership of Memphis, Tennessee, Jackson, Mississippi, and Chicago currently. By obtaining, I have a BS in Social Human Development and Leadership Management, as well as seeking my MA currently in Social Human Psychology and Business Management. These particular concepts have and will continue to help me with assisting in our communities across the city of Memphis for the greater good of all of our constituents. Needless to say, I recently had one of the greatest opportunities to get a chance to run for the Shelby County Commissioner for District 10 and to ask for all of the constituents to bless me with their grace, with their guarded words as I carried through my journey. And for that, I represent the great part of District 4. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Donovan. Next, we'll have Barry Ford. Mr. Ford contacted me yesterday and indicated that he was not, based upon a work conflict, not going to be able to attend physically. So what I'll do, I'll read a letter that he submitted just for the record. It is with great pleasure that I'm writing this letter to you this morning in support of my nomination to the position of City Councilman for District 4. I'm deeply honored to know that my neighbors, family, and friends from the district were willing to sign a petition to place my name into nomination here before this body. First, I'd like to apologize to this body and to any District 4 constituents for my absence today, but it could not be avoided as I had previously scheduled a training session for the newly elected criminal court judges. In filling this position, I understand that I will be required to do outreach and forge relationships with every voter in this district as well as other community groups across the city. My primary responsibility will be to adequately represent the voters with respect, dignity, and understanding. District 4 is a varied and diverse community with historic neighborhoods scattered throughout. If nominated today, I promise to continue my family legacy of dedicated public service to this community. As a United States Navy veteran, as a graduate of the Memphis Citizens Police Academy, and having worked the last 7 years in criminal justice, I understand the importance of protecting the community. I pledge to offer leadership that listens and to meet regularly with the district, looking to the community to develop programs and services and to assist with developing solutions to issues that matter, such as crime, safety, blight, affordable home ownership, mental health, and economic development. Issues that affect the entire district from Hickory Hill to Cooper Young, from Glenview to Castalia, from the Defense Depot to Bunker Hill. I'm eager to begin my duties immediately and look forward to working with all of the Memphis City Council members on behalf of District 4. Thank you, Chairman Jones and your colleagues on the council for your consideration of my candidacy. Sincerely, Barry A. Ford, Sr. Next, we'll have Ronnie Johnson.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
First of all, I want to say happy 901 Day to everybody in Memphis. This is one day to celebrate it through the community. I want to talk about Memphis.
Mr. Johnson, your name and address for the record, please.
Yes, sir. My name is Ronnie D. Johnson. I live at 2016 Waverly Avenue. I've been living in that district, which is District 4, for over 50 years. I left Memphis for one reason and one reason only. I grew up. I attended Peabody Elementary, Fairview Junior High, and then I went on to White Station High School because of a district change, and they started busing us out. But other than that, I came back to the same neighborhood that I grew up in, and I've been there for 50 years. 50 years in the same neighborhood, I've got to see it grow, but yet I've seen some of the same things stay there. I've watched my neighbors come and grow, and some of them come and grow. I've seen the same young men that were little kids that we thought would be the world to us turn out to be some of the most evil people that I ever thought I would meet. And I asked them that every day, what happened? And they said, ain't nothing happened in Memphis. I says, what's going on with that? And what I've learned from them was an inbred hatred for a city that I love. I went into the military, and the whole time I was in the military, I would talk about Memphis, and I brag on Beale Street, and our music, and our soul, and our culture. But yet, when I got home, I saw how much everybody walked away from it. So I would break down and tell everybody, why are we hating Memphis so much that we don't take care of Memphis? And they says, there's nothing to do. So how do we fix that? I got involved. Becoming involved in Memphis has become one of those things that have become a challenge, but yet a fulfilling challenge. I've got to see certain people up here on the council become council members and start making changes. Started making me look up and say, hey, give Memphis a chance. We can get over this hump that we're going through. But as an inspector, I found out that our infrastructure is starting to become inadequate. Every day we drive over these roads and these bridges, and the bridges are collapsing. Everything around us is starting to become inadequate. So I started asking questions. And the more I started asking questions, I started getting involved. So I'll break it down to you this way. Today, I stand as an infrastructure specialist for Memphis, and I want to get that infrastructure back on point. My time is ended, and we will learn more about me later. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Next, we will hear from Mr. Mark Jones.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Mark Jones, and I live at 2058 Young Avenue, Memphis, Tennessee, 38104. It would be an honor to serve with all of you for the next 8 or 9 weeks, and I believe I'm up for the task. Not only would I work on projects that come to the City Council, I would like to help spearhead and launch 3 projects specifically. One, the country of Scotland has made all feminine products free. Maxi pads, tampons, all of that free for everyone. And I think we could do that and should do that here in Memphis. We can make a pilot program starting next July 1st at the beginning of the year, fiscal year, and spend $2,000 a month and supply the women's shelters and the homeless shelters with feminine products for free to the women who come in there. And perhaps there is 1 or 2 other areas we could supply that to. But this should obviously be woman-led and have a committee mostly of women. If you need a token man, I can call me and I can serve with you. Also, the next project, the bus stop in front of the library is horrible. I have gone to the library multiple times and I see 7 or 8 or a dozen people out there waiting for the bus. And the bus shelter maybe holds 3 people. Now what's cool, it needs to be easily 5 or 7 or 10 times bigger. And what's cool about the library is you can make the bus stop like facades of books. Make giant books, like have a book by Langston Hughes and Maya Angelou and Robert Frost. You can Google the Kansas City Library and see what they have done. Their library's made a facade. Don't do it now while I'm speaking, please. But check out the Kansas City Library. We need to do that with our bus stop at the library and make it easily 10 times bigger. Finally, the last special project I'd like to spearhead, if on the council, is Memphis needs a gay pride flag to fly in June during Pride Week. This is what big cities do. Heck, Dallas has their own pride flag. They put their logo on it and fly it in June. I'd like to at least start small and have it flown just for Pride Week. Let's not go the whole month. Let's just try Pride Week, and which is in June. Try it then. Maybe National Coming Out Day in October. You can always fly it on my birthday. Just whatever you feel is good. But these are three projects that I would like to spearhead if I'm appointed and serve with you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Jones, for your comments.
Thank you.
Next, we'll have Janice Swearengin Washington.
My name is Jana Swearengin Washington. I live at 1838 South Parkway East. We ready? Okay. Good morning, council members. It is a pleasure to speak to you today. My name is Jana Swearengin Washington, and championing the needs of District 4 represents more than an opportunity to serve. Rather, it is a calling that I stand ready to perform with excellence. You see, at my core, I am a proud Memphian, a lifelong Glenview resident, and devoted citizen of the community I strive to labor on behalf of. However, these qualities alone are not enough. History tells us as much, and these hallowed halls have been graced and transformed by the likes of Minerva Jonigan, Gwen Awesome, Janet Hooks, Florence Leffler, just to name a few. As a candidate for appointment to the Memphis City Council, I come to you humbly, not seeking to replicate these women and their remarkable feats, but instead I come inspired, prepared, and fully committed to build upon the legacy of their legislative progress. Looking back over my 30-year career as an educator and as an administrator have provided me with an understanding of the power of opportunities received, as well as the devastating impact of access denied. Therefore, I stand here today advocating for a vision to lift from below to ensure that Memphians in need rise to the top. I believe that we must prepare Memphians for careers of the future via accelerated tracks. I believe that we must work creatively to attract businesses capable of bolstering our economy. And I believe that we must seek proactive solutions capable of building stronger, healthier, safer neighborhoods for our youth and seniors alike. Above all, I am committed to serve collaboratively to benefit Memphians of every stripe. As such, I request your vote in favor of my appointment to Memphis City Council District 4. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Swearengin Washington. Colleagues, I have 6 cards from members of the public wishing to speak. So if you, as I call your name, if you can make your way down, you will be afforded 2 minutes to make your comments. The first card that I have is Damon Curry Morris, followed by Marcus Mitchell, followed by Dorothy Moss Hale, Reverend Otis Hicks, Dr. Terrence Brentham, and Crystal Johnson. And please state your name and address for the record, and the clock will start after you do so.
Okay. My name is Damon Curry Morris. I reside at 1529 Dunmore Street, Memphis, Tennessee 38114. I've heard a lot, councilmen, and I think you all need to consider what the people are trying to say who they want representing them. I know we have an election coming up and everything like that. But, you know, when I come forward, I represent the people. And as talking to people out here in the audience, some things that we seem to be missing, and no offense to any candidate that has gotten up here, this city is suffering, okay? And we have people that don't realize that, okay? There are things that need to be done that our predecessors that we've had in these seats up here have not done. And this is the sentiment I'm getting from the people. This is not coming from Damon Morris, this is coming from the people, okay? As a lifelong resident of South Memphis, we got people from South Memphis community. Nobody has gotten up here and said anything about South Memphis. We see South Memphis as a forgotten community, okay? My grandmother lived in Orange Mound for over 80 years, very active in the community. And upon her, drew her last breath at 93 in Orange Mound. So what I'm trying to say to you, councilmen, when we're doing these appointments and these things like that, and I bring this to every governing body that I stand in front of, what does the people say? Hashtag, this one is for the people.
Thank you, Mr. Morris. Next, we'll hear from Mr. Marcus Mitchell.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing? My name is Marcus Mitchell. Address 8932 Fern Valley Cove, Cordova, Tennessee 38018. I'm here this morning to speak on behalf of Ms. Terry Dockery, that's running, well, let's say, trying to get voted in for the city councilman for District 4. I've been knowing Ms. Dockery for approximately 10 years. I came to know Ms. Dockery through our sons were friends, and I kind of became a mentor and a father figure in his life. And I've watched Ms. Dockery become really engaged in her community. You know, I can truly speak and say that I know this kind of position after, like I said, I've been serving the city of Memphis for 29 years. So I do know what it is, what it means to serve. You know, you have to have someone that's passionate about what they're doing, definitely professional, and definitely, you know, have the integrity to do the job and those type of things. You have to have someone that is, you know, that is up to date and knowledgeable about all the issues and concerns about the district, other than the district, the concerns of the city. And last, you must have somebody that's real enthusiastic about what they're doing, and you have to have someone that can be engaging and accessible to the district and the citizens, you know, and gonna, like I said, uphold the job with real integrity. And I do feel that Ms. Dockery will definitely be an asset to District 4 and to the council during that time. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mitchell.
Next, we'll hear from Dorothy Moss-Hale.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Dr. Dorothy Moss-Hale. I live at 4537 Rodney Drive in Whitehaven. I have lived in District 4 since 4th grade, attended Hamilton High School. My church is still in the 38106 zip code area. We still love Hamilton High, absolutely. So I am here to support Ms. Terry Dockery. I also serve as an assistant director at the University of Memphis. I've been employed there for 45 years. Terry was my student advisee and received her degree in the College of Professional Liberal Studies. On those occasions, we had many, many opportunities to have some really deep discussions, and I am aware that she is very passionate and an advocate for those who have no voice. I believe that she would be an excellent candidate, and I am asking for your support of Ms. Dockery because I know that she has a heart and a love for seniors, for people. She has the energy that we need in Memphis, Tennessee to get some things done. So I am rallying and cheering for Terry. And I am really asking that you give her your most sincere and absolute support for the position in District 4, and I thank you for hearing me out. God bless.
God bless. Thank you, Ms. Moss Hill. Next, we'll have Reverend Otis Hicks. Bless you.
Good morning, Council. I
Good
am
morning.
the Reverend Otis R. Hicks, representing from the New Salem Missionary Baptist Church, Pastor Dr. Ray. My address is 9611 Misty Brook Cove in Cordova, Tennessee, but I do own a business in the Orange Mound area. I own a child care facility. I own two, but one is in the Orange Mound area at 1807 John Paul Drive. I'm here to represent Terry Dockery. She's a member of my church. She's a member of my spiritual family. I think she's a God-fearing, spirit-filled young lady that has really shown the character, the strength, and the desire and the ambition to be a leader in this city. I think that she has the area in her heart. She knows, she's did her research. I've talked with her, she's done her research, and she's pretty much very confident in what she's trying to do. So I ask that you would consider her as your candidate for the interim term and perhaps in the future for a permanent position. So I thank you all for your time. Thank you.
Dr. Terrence Brittenham, 5540 U-Turn Cove, Arlington, Tennessee, 38002. Certainly, I'm excited to be here today, serving and representing Juvenile Court as the Deputy Chief of Training for the Auxiliary Probation Service, and also Secretary of the Tennessee Principals Association, and I was just named Principal of the Memphis. Oh, I'm sorry. Certainly, I was, again, Auxiliary Probation Service for Juvenile Court of Memphis and Shelby County, also Secretary of the Tennessee Principals Association, and also I was selected as this year's Principal of the Year for Memphis Shelby County Schools. So definitely I want to come and to share with you the importance of supporting Jana Swearingen Washington in this new role. She has been a distinguished educator and administrator. She's a passionate advocate for our youth, our seniors, and everyone in between. She's a lifelong constituent of District 4. And as many of you may already know, Mrs. Washington attends school and church in District 4. She began her teaching career at Peabody Optional School. And last but certainly not least, she cares deeply about the needs of the members of District 4, the constituents, and she would certainly do everything in her power to make sure that she's responsive to their needs and their concerns. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Crystal Johnson. I'm at 1558 Patterson, 38111. I came today to speak on behalf of Terry Dockery. I have worked with her over the years. I am the owner of Harbortown Day Spa, and she has been a consultant in providing information about the city and community activities. She's very responsible. She's well known for all of her dedication in the city as far as being resourceful. We today would like to just take a moment to acknowledge her accomplishments and that she would be very resourceful in helping in District 4. Right now, we have a lot of issues that we're dealing with as far as education. And with her being an educator, she is willing to work with the youth, is also working with our seniors as well. We have a large community of seniors right now that need support as far as resources with transportation, also social activities, and we're asking today that we acknowledge Terry Dockery for District 4. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So noted. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chair. It is an honor for me at this time to be able to recognize Jana Swearingen Washington as a candidate for District 4 appointee. Thank you. Okay. I moved then.
We don't have to do it. So what takes place is it's a vote. So we're going to start with Councilman Canales, since his name is first.
Okay.
And so Councilman Canales will indicate what his selection, the individual that he selected. So that's the process.
Okay.
So whoever gets 7 votes, that's who the nomination will be.
So each council member is going to take a vote. And I guess, how do we determine which person who's offered themselves up for service ultimately falls off? Is there a cutoff line, like if they receive less than 2 votes? I think that's what you said.
Yes.
Okay. Less than 2 votes. If you receive.
And let me.
We don't know.
So the Madam Comptroller will tabulate the votes and inform the chair vote count for each candidate. Well, the voting will begin with the councilperson's name appears first on the vote poll. That's Councilman Now. With each successive round of voting, the person voted first, the previous round of voting. Each round of voting, Madam Comptroller will tabulate the votes and inform the chair of the vote count for each candidate. Beginning with the second round, a candidate receiving less than 2 votes will be dropped from the list of nominees. So this point, everybody is a nominee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For our first round, we'll start with Councilmember Canale. Councilmember Canale, can you please give me your selection for the District 4 position? Councilmember Carlisle, your selection.
Agree.
Mr. Colbert, your selection.
Terry Dockery.
Easter Thomas. Councilmember Ford.
Terry Dockery.
Councilmember Johnson.
Jana Swearingen Washington.
Councilmember Logan.
Jana Swearingen.
Councilmember Morgan.
Terry Dockery.
Patrice Robinson, Councilmember.
Terry Dockery.
Over.
How many, is that 6 or 7?
Okay.
Mr.
The rules
Chairman,
are, so.
I have received 7 votes.
Yes, it's the first person that receives 7 votes. And so Terry Dockery has been nominated by and affirmed by this council as a councilperson for District 4.
Maybe that's why Danielle is here.
Chairman, can I?
Have a majority vote. I have a motion and a second, well, for same night minutes on this item. But before we do so, we have Judge Danielle Mitchell Sims, who can swear you in as the council member for District 4. So, yeah. Madam Comptroller, if I may too, will you please state on the record the tabulated results of the roll call vote, please?
Our roll call vote for District 4 position, 7 votes for Council Member-elect Terry Dockery, and 2 for Jana Swearingen, Washington.
Okay, thank you.
You want the Bible? I did.
We need a Bible.
That one.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Place your left hand on it. Raise your right hand. And the other hand on it. Okay.
And if you'll repeat after me, I, Terry Dockery,
I, Terry Dockery,
having been duly elected member of the Council of the City of Memphis,
have been duly elected member of the Council of the City of Memphis,
make oath that I
make oath that I
will support the Constitution of the United States,
will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Tennessee,
the Constitution of the State of Tennessee,
and the Charter and ordinances
and the Charter and ordinances
of the City of Memphis,
and
will faithfully carry out
and enforce the same,
and will faithfully demean myself while in office, that I will faithfully and impartially discharge and carry out and enforce all the duties of said office, that I will not become interested directly or indirectly,
directly or indirectly,
nearly or remotely, for myself or for others, in any contract for work, materials or supplies or services, or purchases made by the City of Memphis. So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Put your name here. Alternate outside.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Councilwoman Dockery, you can, well, congratulations and welcome to the Memphis City Council.
Thank you, sir.
And what you may take your seat next to Councilwoman Robinson.
Come on up.
Come on, get in. Let me go there, take it. Oh, they can, okay.
Yeah. You signed on for what? That's going to be one of those classics.
I know.
Go back.
Make sure I talk to you. Don't leave. And one last picture. Do I put this against the picture? This is on the campaign. Take your time. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Very important.
That's okay. Don't worry about that.
Give me one of my phones.
We're working at a desk. We're working. Here, let me get you.
Congratulations. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for being here today. Yeah. Okay, right away.
I had 17 cases this morning, and Judge Thompson heard my contest. So, yeah.
Okay. I know. Willie, sir.
Well, just wait for her to come up, take a seat.
Listening, our meeting has not adjourned. We are taking a temporary recess.
Councilman Smiley, you're in the queue?
In the order of business.
I'm in the queue?
Yes.
Thank you, Chair Jones.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Chair Jones, and congratulations to Councilwoman Terry Dockery. I'm going to be quiet until we get some order here. Let's take a few more moments to take some pictures of the new Councilwoman for District 4. Okay, so first again, congratulations to Councilwoman Terry Dockery. At the last council meeting, we held, we took off the agenda and held a referendum. I would like to move that we take a vote on a substituted referendum from the previous council meeting. I'm going to have staff pass out the substituted referendum. There you go. And you know Sam wants one, so let's give it to Sam too. All right, while the referendum is being passed out, I'm going to read the title, and then I'm going to read the one of the before resolve clauses. This is substitute referendum ordinance number 5824, a referendum ordinance to amend pursuant to Article 11, Section 9 of the Constitution of the State of Tennessee, Home Rule Amendment provisions of the Chapter of the City of Memphis, the same being Chapter 11 of the Acts of 1879 as amended relative to partisan elections for the offices of mayor and city council members, and to repeal all provisions of the city's charter inconsistent with this amendment. To get to the pertinent part of this clause, because there we go. So Section 4, the first shall, it says, shall the charter of the city of Memphis be amended to provide that partisan elections for the offices of mayor and city council are prohibited, and that in any such nonpartisan elections hereafter for the office of mayor, the majority runoff provision of the city's charter referendum ordinance number 1794 shall apply. So essentially what this referendum will do, it would allow the people in the city of Memphis to vote on whether or not they want the mayor's race to be decided by a majority vote. So more specifically, in order to become the mayor in the city of Memphis, an individual must receive at least 50% plus one number of votes. And with that, I so move.
Okay. Is there a second? Okay, has been seconded by Councilwoman Johnson. It was moved by Councilman Smiley. I have Councilman Morgan in the queue. Councilman Morgan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move to hold until our next council meeting so we can give the public adequate notice as well as council members.
Object. Today is the last day. And we've already, this amendment this ordinance has already been voted on 2 times. This is a simple change to what's been before.
No, it has not.
Okay.
This is a substitute.
We can vote on it.
Colleagues, there has been 2 objections to this, so that means that it has to go to the next meeting unless there is a vote, a majority vote to suspend the rules and we dispose of it tonight.
I move to suspend the rules.
Okay. Is there a second to suspend the rules? Okay, there's a second, there's a motion and a second to suspend the rules. Yes.
Point of inquiry, Attorney Wade.
Well, we need to suspend the rules first, and if the rules aren't suspended, it's a moot point.
He was about to explain it, but okay. The process.
Your question was?
So the process to have this.
Under our rules, if there are 2 objections, then it would automatically go to the next meeting. If you suspend the rules, then you can vote to override that rule and have a vote tonight. You should be aware that should that vote to suspend fail,
this is done.
It's a dead issue because you have, I think this is the 58th day before the November election, and you have to publish at least 60 days under the Constitution before you make a charter amendment.
Okay. Did everybody understand, Mr. Wade?
We need to suspend the rules.
Okay.
There we go. Take a vote. Suspend.
Would you repeat that again, Mr. Wade?
Okay. Is my mic on?
I promise it's hard to hear.
Councilwoman Logan said she couldn't hear me.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
We can't hear you.
That side.
Somebody find Antonio.
Just blame Antonio.
Yeah, put me on the clock, will you? I want to run for District 4, too. All right, so the way it works is under the rules, if you propose an item at the time of the meeting, it can be considered unless 2 members object. If 2 members object under the rule, it is automatically added to the next agenda. That obviates even going to committee. If you move to suspend the rules, however, you can address the item at the meeting. You can overrule the 2 objections and address the item at the meeting. I just wanted to let you know that this is the 58th day before the November election. You have to publish under the Constitution 60 days before the election in order for the referendum to be valid. So if you decide not to overrule or vote it down or delay it, it will in effect kill the referendum.
Today's the day. We have to.
Okay, so you'd like to be recognized? Okay. Mr. Carlisle, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I really promise I'm not going to get a back and forth, and we can take a vote. I do want to address one thing that the council member from Super District 8 mentioned, which is the public's had notice and this has been on. I would say that that's a slight misrepresentation. While this item has been on the agenda and has been voted on, the general public's takeaway is that it was an item on partisan elections, not a majority runoff. And I think it's disingenuous to say that the public has had notice. If Sam Hardiman hadn't covered it in the paper, not a single person in the public would have known that we were going to have a vote to put a referendum question on for 50% plus 1. And without that, there would have been zero notice to the public because they assumed it was a partisan election question, not a majority runoff. And I just want to say that because I feel like it's important for the record of the council that be stated. And I know that there are several members, including the other councilwoman from District 8, who's constantly, in the most positive way, lectured this body on proper notice to the public. And so I just want to remind everybody that is often something that comes before this body. And with that, I'll yield the floor. Thank you, Chair.
Councilman Smiley.
Thank you. I want to be very direct about a couple things. One, I find it ironic that this body speaks a lot about letting the people decide how they want their city to be governed. And I will paraphrase particular council members. What they say consistently is, Why don't we let the people decide? When we dealt with the issue with police residency, we said, let the people decide. So now when it comes to an issue that you may not like, we're saying, let's not let the people decide. Let's just take a vote and see what happens. Let's just fall where they may. And then let's see what happens. If we lose, we lose. If the people win, we win. It's just take a vote. And with that, I call the question.
Okay, question has been called. There's no one else in the queue on this item, so this is special item 1, which is a suspension of the rules to take up this item. Madam Comptroller, will you please prepare the screens for voting?
Madam Comptroller, I'll be hand-voting. I'm busted over here.
You're going to abstain, sir?
No, he said his screen isn't working. Yeah.
His screen is broken.
I think
Technology.
put me out.
Get you out of here, Chase. Get you out of here, buddy.
Dowling? No. Carlisle? No. Bullock? No.
Councilmember Dockery, no. Johnson, yes. Logan, yes. Easter Thomas, yes. Morgan, no. Robinson, yes. Ford, no. Smiley, yes.
And Councilman Ford. Did you call
Councilmember Ford voted
Okay.
no.
Okay.
Should be 7.
And the final vote is you, sir. My screen timed out.
Okay.
Councilmember Jones?
So, yes.
Thank you.
Jones is yes. So what is the count on that? 6-6?
Gotta have 7.
Okay. Okay. That item fails.
Move to adjourn.
Okay. Motion has been made to adjourn. Is there any objection to adjourning? This meeting is adjourned. Oh, I'm sorry.
I changed my
Okay.
motion to move to recess.
Okay. We move to, I'm sorry, this is a motion to recess. May I have a voice vote on a recess of the September 1st meeting? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. 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 Any opposed? Okay, this item, this meeting is recessed.
Recess in the wings.